TreVeyon Henderson is a 5-star tailback and a top 20 player in the country. Last year, he rushed for over 2,500 yards and led his Hopewell High School to a second state title in as many years. And that was after he didn't really get to touch the ball a whole lot because they had a bunch of good tailbacks. This year was supposed to be his senior season, for which he was going to have a last hurrah and probably get an opportunity, would get an opportunity to defend state championship. That opportunity is gone. He's one of many Virginia High School Sports League players who are not going to have an opportunity to play football this fall. The Virginia High School League has announced that they will decide the fate of all fall sports on July 27th, but fall football is not even being considered in any of their 3 models for fall sport. Henderson told 11 Warriors, I'll be skipping my spring football to enroll early. It's just what I'm going to do. It's a tough decision because I want to play football. But at the end of the day, it's still going to benefit me. I can start off fresh at Ohio State and start training. I just want to go ahead and get involved in the program and get a feeling about what Ohio State is all about, get around some of the players and just get a comfort level there. He is one of many on their commit list, their 2021 recruiting class, who are going to probably have to make a similar decision. Among them, guys like Jack Sawyer, who is a top 5 talent in the country and defensive end, plays in Ohio. And we're going to see how that looks across the country. I mean, Florida's IMG Academy is one of several private schools for which perhaps are still going to play. And Florida right now has plans to play fall football. But he had talked about perhaps transferring to one of those. And he said, if they don't let us play, I'm not sure I'll end up transferring or just sitting out the year. But if not, I'll probably end up transferring. I've just got to see what's up with other schools to see if they will allow early enrolling. He said if Texas doesn't have high school football in the fall, he believes the whole country would shut down. So we're all going to watch Texas because Texas, along with Florida and Arizona, are 3 of the hardest hit states in the country with positive test cases. And the reason that is important is we're running out of hospital beds. And if we run out of hospital beds, that affects care of all kinds. The OU medical director yesterday went and said, look, we're operating at near 100% capacity. And we still have to treat people who have strokes, who have heart attacks, who have pulmonary disease. We have a laundry list of things that we have to take care of. And the rush to take care of COVID-19 positive patients, those who are suffering from flu-like symptoms, abdominal pain, inflamed appendixes, irritable bowels, all of it are really putting a hurting on our system, to say nothing of exhausted medical workers, exhausted doctors, exhausted nurses, folks who you really want to be working on all cylinders when they are giving you care. And nobody wants a drowsy surgeon. Nobody wants a drowsy nurse or a burnt out surgeon or nurse. We all want our medical healthcare workers to be in the best possible shape. And how can they be? Especially as we continue to talk about they're in an environment for where they can contract the virus. So the idea of high school football being played is fast going away because it's even harder to secure high school football players than it is college football players. The reason that I believe that the NFL is going to find a way to play is because if they play a single game, owners have to pay the guarantees to their players. They get their same paycheck for the season. They play a single game. So it's either play a game, it's either play a season or don't play at all. And we know that the NFL wants to keep the money turning. And there's a different dynamic at work there. One is those are adults who are getting paid to play. At the high school and college level, these are young adults for which we all have to care for and who are not getting paid to play. And the idea that we're going to go ahead and force high school football because the kids want to play, even as the circumstances around it are not great, okay? I believe that Henderson is right to think he should look ahead and he should look to early enroll. I understand how hard that is for him, and I understand how hard it is for seniors across the country. I mean, some right here in our backyard. I know that Edison has been getting Summer Pride work in, right? I know that Coach TD is trying to get their work in. I know that Holland Hall is trying to get their work in. I know that Booker T wants to play football. I also know that it is the adult's responsibility to stop it if it is unsafe. You know, it's not as easy to see as a toddler walking into oncoming traffic, but it is just as important to stop these kids from getting sick, because if they get sick, it gets really, really bad. And if it gets so bad that something bad happens, we're all going to feel terrible about it. And we're not going to be able to hide behind, well, it was his prerogative. I feel like this conversation is really displaying for us what matters to some people. And it is not necessarily the well-being and care of their fellow human beings. It's, we got to make some money. And you got to be able to try to walk that line while trying to do as much as you possibly can to keep the money turnover, while also doing as much as you possibly can to take care of your people, because that's what they are. They're your people. They're our people. We live together. So with the knowledge that TreVeyon Henderson, who is a talent, is going to miss his football season, we already know what Tony Grimes decided to do, right? Tony Grimes also plays in the state of Virginia and was at Princess Anne, where he became the #1 cornerback in the entire country. Number 7 overall in the 247 Sports Composite. And rather than even play with this decision that the Virginia High School Sports League has come up with, he decided he was going to reclassify and early enroll to get down to North Carolina to play football. There's an argument to be made that he's safer in Virginia, and yet that kid wants to play football, and his parents want to let him play football. What do you tell him? If you tell them what you tell all the other kids in North Carolina, which is wait and see, he's going to be where he is. But I totally get the idea of being able to be around people that you want to get to know in an environment that you're going to matriculate to anyway, and getting better help and better work in from certified strength and conditioning specialists, from high quality athletic training professionals. I get it. I also know that the more people you have in one place, the more likely you are to catch the virus. We know that. That's why we had shelter in place orders. That's why we had quarantine. It's because we needed to be told, yo, separate. Separate, stay separated. We've even put people into quarantine now for 2 weeks. I understand how difficult it is because I am a social person. I talk for a living. Come on. But I also want to be safe, and I know that losing a year of football is not what anybody wants to do. Losing fall football doesn't feel like the price that it is if we get spring football. But there's also that argument about what spring football is. It's not going to be as good as it is in the fall because we are not built for spring football. We are built to play football from August to January. We're not built to play it from February to June. That might be what we're forced to do, though. It's doable. It's a thing you can do. It is not ideal, but I submit to you, nothing here is ideal. Nothing here is what somebody wants to do. Nothing here is going to help us other than us taking care of each other and doing it ourselves. If we know that masks help lower the spread and lower the numbers, that's the reason to do it. Even if you are still not sure, despite all this literature and all this research about what COVID-19 can do to you or do to people you love, you have seen how it has affected the economy. You have seen how it has affected regular business. You know what Zoom is now. You have Zoom culture in your life. You saw the NFL draft conducted online. If you wanted to get back to playing football, if you wanted to have something like regular, if you are one of these people like me who cannot stop thinking about Smart Hulk, looking at the gauntlet, going, it's like I was built for this, give me the thing, I gotta do it, then snapping his fingers, and then we still gotta fight Thanos, and we watch him destroy Thor, destroy Captain America, and destroy Iron Man, Then bring in the Black Legion, and even after the Army, in one of the most tearful moments I've ever seen in a movie, comes flying out of these big circles that Dr. Strange and his people putting together. We see my man's from Wakanda. We see T'Challa, Okoye, Shuri walking out going, yo, we got you, Cap. We see Spider-Man come flying through. The Guardians come flying through. Everybody showed Ant-Man, Wasp. We got to see Rescue. For those of you who are the uninitiated, that is the Iron Man suit that Pepper Potts wears. Captain Marvel, who is basically Superman, came back. And we still needed every single person to do what they needed to do to stop Thanos. If you need to contextualize and visualize, see Thanos. See the virus as Thanos. If you want your reality back, we're all going to have to be in on it. Every single Marvel superhero showed up to work. Every one of y'all is a Marvel superhero. That's the virus, is Thanos. We got it. Wear a mask. You know? You get your man's Bucky with his gun in his arm. You got Rocket on his shoulder talking about come get some space dogs. And even then, you still got the Hulk coming out. Nah, I got it. It's fine. And you got people throwing the gauntlet around like a football. Is there a more perfect analogy than that? Yo, man, everybody's got an opportunity to do something here. We all got an opportunity to save lives. I'm sorry, like, that part fires me up. That part I get on for. I'm turning 33 this month. I turned 33 in 15 days. And the one thing that I have wanted in my life is for my life to be worthwhile and to be meaningful to my people, to you, to my family. To stand up for what is right. That's always going to be so super personal to me. If my grandmother can do it so I can put a piece of paper into a box, can wear a mask. If my grandmother could lose her livelihood so that her grandson could grow up knowing that when he turned 18, he's going to vote and nobody's going to look at him funny for walking in to his precinct to cast his ballot, you can wear a mask. You can socially distance. You can deal with a world without football for a short amount of time. It sucks. It's hard. We're all suffering. But there is a remarkable line of DNA within us. We are so very powerful together, but only together. I think about that every day. I think about what human beings have done. Sometimes our history reads like the ravings of a madman. And sometimes our history reads as heroic. You get to make a choice today. You get to find out today, during this time, what you're actually made of. Can you do it? Do you have enough discipline? Channel that red American male zeal into being about saving lives by simply doing the small things. And I know that's the hardest thing in the world to do because nobody's actually watching you do it. What you do in the dark, what you do when nobody's looking, when you choose not to cut corners, when you choose not to sacrifice and be selfish, it matters. Right now, as it relates to sports, it matters more now than ever. We've never been here. There's a difference between never being here and being able to dig yourself out.